Hi, my name is Pixie, welcome to my channel, and today we're going to talk about design. Okay, I know that sounds a little boring, but hang in there. What if I told you it's not just any design, it's psychological design? And that sounds way better, because everybody knows that if you put psychological in front of anything, it becomes more interesting. Alright, let's get into it. First of all, every aspect of a design is intentional and has some purpose, but sometimes it might be less obvious than others.
So you're saying I'm special?
Yeah. Your bright white color symbolizes purity, peace, serenity, and clarity. You are very special.
Really?
No. You're the most meaningless white wall. Nobody ever cares about you. Now get the hell out of my studio and die in hell. Alright, not everything has exactly some deep purpose. For example, in a factory, there probably won't be machines or anything especially designed to force certain behavior, or not psychologically at least. In public spaces, on the other hand, the chance may be much higher. Lately, there's been a rising phenomenon called hostile design in urban environments. It usually looks like completely normal design, but it has a hidden purpose to prevent or force certain behaviors. You probably won't notice it unless you're not the targeted group, usually the homeless. For example, look at this bench. It's a completely normal bench, you might say. But look, notice these dividers? They are not there for you to rest your arms. They're actually there so it's impossible to sleep on the bench. Another examples are sprinklers that prevent you from sleeping on grass, or bumps and ledges to prevent you from skateboarding. Then there are all the different spikes. That is pretty obvious, I think. One interesting example, in my opinion, is the rising number of CCTVs, mainly in big cities. It's been proven that fake cameras or even posters with eyes on them make you feel seen and therefore behave more uniformed. The opposite of hostile design is friendly design that encourages community well-being. Friendly design might be obvious things like shades, playgrounds, water fountains, etc., but also things like open spaces like squares or wide roads, because their high visibility adds a sense of safety. Now, you might be asking, why isn't there more friendly design in cities? You know, the truth is that everybody just wants to make money of you. Alright, let me explain. If there's a nice park in a city, chances are you're gonna be spending your time there instead of a mall, which is healthy both for you and your bank accounts, but not for these. You got my point? Not only there's no profit from a park, but it's also expensive to maintain and take care of. So in the next chapter, we're gonna take a look inside a mall and explain why the last time you went shopping for bread and toilet cleaner and came back with half the entire store. And definitely not the toilet cleaner. Chapter 2. Inside a mall. Let's start with the overall layout of a mall. For example, have you ever noticed how the escalators are never starting and ending at the same spot, and it's so annoying? But since Starbucks is along the way to the other escalator, you might just buy the vanilla ice cream, iced latte macchiato, or whatever else you buy at Starbucks. Malls often lack navigation tables and exits are often hard to find, and you're probably furious after walking through the entire mall for the 4th time looking for cupcake malls. And so when you finally find the exit and get outside, you realize it's dark already because conveniently there are no windows inside, so you didn't realize how much time you've spent there. Alright, now let's assume that you've gone to Tesco for some groceries. The first thing you usually see when you walk in the store is the fruit and vegetables aisle, and it has its reason. It's right at the entrance because when you're gonna see the salad and broccoli in your shopping cart, you're gonna justify the 3 packs of Cheetos later on more easily. Also, the basic supplies like baked goods, dairy products, or meat are usually located in all the different corners of the shop, so you have to walk through the whole store and potentially buy more stuff. And to confuse like customers that know their way around, it usually changes the whole layout every year or two, so they're exposed to all the stuff again. The distribution of goods on shelves has also its system. At the top you usually find luxury brands, and on the other hand at the bottom are usually no brand cheap products. And the products that the store wants to sell the most are usually in eye level. Another, I think, a little underestimated factor of design are the colors, but since there is a whole lot of colors, I've decided to give them a separate chapter. Chapter 3. Colors. It's proven that colors have a significant effect on human behavior, and thus they are plentifully used in marketing. For example, blue invokes wisdom, trust, calmness, or reliability. Therefore, is often used by tech or banking companies. Or green, known for its calming effects, is being associated with environmental services or mental health platforms. Important to note is that all these examples I mentioned don't have universal meaning around the whole world, and the emotions that I said they evoke implies mainly for the Western culture, and in different cultures they might have a whole different different meaning or don't have any meaning at all. However, there's one color that has an effect on people among most of the cultures, and people generally react to it stronger than most colors. It's red. It's the first color baby sees when it's born because its long wavelength is easier for visual systems to process, and it generally captures attention more than other colors, especially in emotional context. Mainly, it's either way associated with love, sexuality, fertility or attractiveness, or danger, aggression, war or courage. Of course, it has all the different meanings among cultures, but the important thing is that it usually has a significant effect almost everywhere. But why? Well, red has a great significance in terms of evolution. In nature, it signals either way danger, aka blood or warning coloration of animals, or opportunity, aka yummy fruit or mating displays, which are the two most important things in terms of survival. Alright, so how is this fact being put to use today? Due to its two contradictory meanings, it's being used both to warn you and to advertise product to you, mostly used by streaming companies, food chains, or for notifications.
Or communists.
Alright, so that's all I have for you here. Alright, for the outro, I don't know. The purpose of this video is to be paranoid, I guess. Do you have any final thoughts?
Beware of the communists!
Alright, I see you in the next video. Bye!